Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about most frequent status codes that you may encounter. In our last video, we went through the status code in general. That was an introduction, but today we're going to dive a little bit more into each and different status code. So today we are going to go through some of the 100 status codes, the 400 ones, and also one of the 500. If you're ready for this, let's get started. First of all, status code 200. You know by now that if a status code starts with 2, that is a good sign. So it means that you did something right and the server was able to process your request and then hopefully send you a response back. So in the case of 200, status code 200, it is an okay response. It means that everything went all right, so the request that you sent to the server was well formulated, the server was able to understand your request, and likely it sent you back a response. So for the 200, it means everything went okay. For the 201 also means that your request was perfectly fine, the server was able to understand it, and on top of that, it created a resources. So meaning your requests included the creation of something on the server side. So that one was done and it sent you back a 201 code. So the difference between codes 200 and 201 means that the 200, it just letting you know that your request was successfully processed and you likely received a response, and the 201, it gives you extra information by letting you know that a resource was created. Next, we are moving into the status code starting with 4. So those ones mean that your request was not okay. Something is wrong on your side. So for example, the status code 400 literally means that your request was bad. So it was a bad request. So when you sent your request, something was wrong with the syntax of it. In result, the server could not process your request and could not execute it. So you're receiving a code 400. So in case you receive this code, you have to know that check again your syntax if you formulated things properly so that the server can understand it. Next, if you receive a code 401, it specifically means that there is an authorization issue. So that perhaps your request was well formulated, your syntax was okay, but you are either lacking proper authorization to request what you are requesting, or your authorization has expired. So maybe the token that you are using or the key you are using to access that specific resource on the server side is not valid anymore. So in that case, if you receive a code 402, go again and check your authorization. Next, we have 403. 403 means that something is forbidden. So in this case, your syntax might be correct, your authorization might be also correct, but that specific action that you want to do on the server side is not allowed. So you are not allowed to do that specific action to create that specific resource on the server because you don't have enough authorization to do it. So you have authorization, but you don't have enough authorization to perform that specific action on the server side. Then the 404, this literally means that the resource that you're trying to find on the server side has not been found. So the server is probably up and running, but you are requesting something that the server doesn't have anymore. Maybe it has been discarded or something like that. So your syntax might be correct, your authorization correct. It's just that on the server side it cannot find the resource that you are requesting. Lastly, we're going to see the status code 500. Remember with me that when a status code starts with 5, it means that this time it's not on your side, but it's something failing on the server side. So let's say in this case you are sending a proper request, you have the correct authorization, everything seems okay, syntax is okay, but when you send it to the server, you are receiving a status code 500. Why? Because the server itself was unable at that specific time to execute your request. So this means maybe try later, or something is wrong with the server, something is down. So that's just letting you know that on the server side there is an internal error. I hope that we have learned something today, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.